the biggest challenge for most jazz players. And many people think that if they could only play faster, know a few more licks, scales, or arpeggios, they would play beautiful solos. But this is not true. You can hear people who can play fast, who can play many licks and scales and arpeggios, but still their solos are pretty boring. And there are some players who play very simple and very slow, and they play beautiful and creative solos. So in this lesson, I'm going to show you how you can play beautiful and creative and melodic solos with only one note per chord. Yes, that's simple. And the truth is that if you can play beautiful and creative with one note per chord, then most chances that you'll be able to play beautiful solos with more elements, with more scales, with more licks, because you have the basic feelings of how the solo should start. So let's start. We are going to take today G minor blues. I chose a very simple chord progression. 4 bars for G minor 6. 2 bars for C minor 6. 2 bars for G minor. D7 I add half tone above and G minor with a simple turnaround. This is the chord progression. Now we are going to learn one note and improvise with this note. How can you improvise with one note? You change the way you approach it. You can add half-tone approach, you can slide, you can do bends, you can change the rhythm, you can be creative. And of course that eventually, for the advanced guitarists here, you will be able to add more notes to this one note that is the basic of our chords, like a guide tones to our solo. But the main idea is that it is going to free roam in your brain to concentrate on how to play a beautiful solo, how to be creative, rather than how to use the licks that you know, how to use the shapes that you know. And now let's see the notes. For the first chord, G minor, I'm going to play the note D. For C minor, I'm going to play the note C. And for G minor, when it comes the second time, I'm going to play the note of D. Then for D7, I will play the note A. And for the last G, I'm going to play the note G again. We are going to start with the note D for G minor. D. Remember, for C minor, we will play C. And D again. For D, we will play A to G. Try to sit in different places on the fingerboard. D. This is for G. It goes to C. And D again. A to G. Let's see in a different octave. D for G minor. C for C minor and D again. A for D goes to G. Maybe in a lower octave, D. This is for G minor that goes to C, goes to D, A, and G. Now, of course, that I'm not going to improvise like that, because this is not improvisation, right? This is like playing the same note, playing a solo. Improvisation is when I will play it in different ways. All right, what are the different ways? First, you can play with the time, the rhythm, and the way you approach the note. For example, half-tone approach. Slide, half-tone approach. All right, so that was a simple, I took the same notes, but I played chromatic approach, a chromatic note, connected them with different notes. Now let me improvise with this one note. I will start very simple by only adding halftone or chromatic approaches to the note, and playing with bends or slides and stuff like that. Slide. Okay, you see? What you need to do is to find different ways to express the one note. Now you see the difference in what usually we do? Usually we think about how to play all the licks. Forget about the basic melody, about being creative. Now what I want you to do is something completely different. Now if you're an advanced guitarist and you can add arpeggios and licks, do them, but around the notes that you play. So now I will play a little bit more complicated. Our A. So I'm letting the notes guide me. There's always also a term for it, like guide notes. There is one note per chord that guide my solo. Now, if you are a beginner, you can start playing beautiful solos with that. And even if you are an advanced guitarist, you can add more and more notes like I did now, but you let the guide tones lead you towards creating more creative and melodic solo. The main idea here is that when you practice improvisation, aim to practice through the eyes of the thing that you already know, rather than practice improvisation through the thing that you want to adapt to your playing. Because when you think about what you don't know and what you want to adapt to your playing, you don't think about being creative, about being melodic. But when you think through the elements that you already know, that free room in your brain to play more beautiful and interesting. So, to sum it up, choose a song, choose one note for each chord and start your solo as simple as that. It also will take the stress out of you when you start a solo. You don't need to show off, you can just play some notes. And then you can expand from there. And build your solo you can change octave. It's the same note. same notes. Okay, you see what is leading me are the simple notes, and you can play the solo that you want in your own skills. And the more you expand your skills, build technique, and build more licks, you will add them into this structure that we've just built. But you saw that the way I started, my solo could be interesting even without adding all these notes. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this lesson and that it will give you some inspiration to think more simple on your solos. How you can take a song and start with simple elements and expand it as you go. So you'll enjoy your playing rather than getting stressed when you start your solo. If you like it, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you won't miss any of my other videos. Cheers.